Erica and Tim, good morning. There is a whole lot of evidence in this case, and prosecutors are getting right to it in their case against Michelle Troconis, largely on that conspiracy to commit murder charge. If you're just getting caught up, want to share some of the more significant evidence that was shared with the jury over the course of the last 24 hours. What you're looking at right now is body cam footage from officers who initially arrived at Jennifer Dulos' New Canaan home as the result of a welfare check following her reports of disappearing here. As they make their way through the house, they're making note of a number of things, perhaps most significantly her purse left behind that the family babysitter told authorities she likely would not do had she left the home on her own accord. As you make your way into the family garage, authorities also pointing out a large vehicle right in that center bay there where they were describing what appeared to be some kind of blood-like substance that had dried up on the front end of the car, also on the garage floor there. Take a listen to some of that body cam audio.
Well, it's just strange in connection with the fact that we've got a missing person.
It appears to be smeared, pinkish, reddish in color, as if something was cleaned up.
Folks who remember this case will know that there was also a search for Jennifer Dulos' car. You're looking at imagery of that here, eventually found in Waveney Park. And when authorities found that kind of parked right up against the tree line there, not only was it still in reverse, but the battery there was dead. Folks know Jennifer Dulos' estranged husband, Fotis Dulos, charged with murder in this case, taking his own life before a jury reached a verdict here. And of course, Jennifer Dulos' body never found, but she was legally declared dead back in October. Tim and Erica, by a judge.
Keith, I remember yesterday you wondered if Troconis would be let into the courtroom maybe through a back door to avoid publicity, but it certainly looks like all the other times she's arrived at court, it was done in public view. What was that like as she arrived?
Sure, Tim and Erica, she is making her way in through this front entrance here, much in the same way I will shortly. Video from our Fox 61 videographer, Freddie Mathis, capturing that moment as she made her way into the courthouse, surrounded by her family. I was up on the 4th floor where the trial is unfolding, where she was still surrounded by family, eventually making her way into a private room prior to entering that trial that got underway just after 10 o'clock yesterday morning. As the day unraveled and unfolded here, our Julia LeBlanc was outside when members of Michelle Troconis' family spoke to the media.
My sister is innocent with no doubt, and we're here together as a family to acknowledge that this is a tragedy. This is a tragedy to all of us and also to the other family and to the children.
So is that there one of Michelle Troconis' sisters, also hearing from a spokesperson for Jennifer Dulos' families and friends, reminding people that Jennifer Dulos is at the heart of this case and that while there's nothing that can be done to bring her back, they want folks to remember her. They're hoping that this trial will bring not only some accountability, but answers, Tim and Erica, to this family as well.
Well, Keith, finding a jury that doesn't already know a lot about this case is very unlikely. It's quite a challenge. And you've spoken with Ray Hassett quite a bit. What are you learning from him about that process and the effects on the case?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. It's been a bit of a legal boot camp for me and perhaps for folks who are watching at home. I was thinking to myself, hey, they need to find individuals who have not seen this all over the news, who have not read about this all in the newspaper and online. But Ray Hassett says what is more important in this case is finding somebody who's coming in with an open mind and does not come in with prejudices. He actually spoke to me about what it would mean or kind of the red flags that would be involved if a juror came in saying, hey, I don't know anything about Jennifer Dulos.
So often when you find someone that says, well, I don't know anything about the most publicized case in this year or the last number of years in Connecticut, you wonder whether they actually have what you want as a juror. You question whether they're going to be able to serve because they may be out of touch because they're not following reality.
I'm kind of just glancing over my shoulder this morning because it was roughly this time yesterday Michelle Troconis made her way into the courtroom, so I will keep an eye out for that. Do want to point out that Julia LeBlanc and I working hand in hand on this case. We will be together upstairs for the duration of today's testimony here. Want to also point out that coming up new in our 10 o'clock hour, there's a lot of attention on this conspiracy to commit murder charge, perhaps because that is the most significant one. But Michelle Troconis also facing charges of tampering with evidence and hindering prosecution. I have a conversation with Ray Hassett about how those charges may be interconnected here and why those lesser charges may play a significant role in coming to a conclusion on this conspiracy to commit murder as well. But for now, live at Stanford Superior Court this morning, Keith McGilvery, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right.